All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're looking at a project that has one foot in the present and the other, well, deep in the realm of science fiction. It's called Cognigenesis, and the journey it maps out goes from a practical, real-world AI tool all the way to something they call a quantum oracle. So to really get this, we have to start with the big, mind-bending question at its core. What if an AI could do more than just learn? What if it could fundamentally rewrite its own programming, its own logic, to get smarter on its own terms? We're not talking about simple machine learning here. This is about true, recursive self-evolution. Just keep that idea in your head as we go. So where do you even begin with something this huge? Well, you start on the ground floor with the foundation. And that's the AI Automation Engine version 5.2, which is the system that exists right now. At the heart of this current version is something called the Acosta protocol. You can think of it like the AI's operating system. It's designed to bring together three really important ideas. First, agentic AI. That just means AIs that can actually do things on their own. It combines that with workflows that constantly improve themselves, and it has ethical guardrails built right in from the start. The whole point is to solve problems with maximum efficiency. And if you look under the hood, you see how it gets this done. It's got recursive self-improvement for that constant learning, but it also has things like hierarchical AI delegation and multi-agent decision-making. This means you can actually build teams of AIs that work together, passing tasks up and down a chain of command, kind of like a human project team, to tackle incredibly complex jobs. So how does this actually work in the real world? It's a pretty straightforward but really powerful four-step loop. You start by defining your goal, then you give the AI the tools it needs. After that, the system kicks off a real-time feedback loop, so it's constantly checking its own work. And that last step is the magic. It measures everything and refines its own process. This isn't just automation, it's intelligent automation that keeps getting better. Okay, so that's the now. That's the practical stuff. But hold on, because this is where things take a massive, massive leap into the future. This is where the project evolves into version 6.0, the quantum singularity AI. And I mean, with a name like that, you know we're heading into some seriously wild new territory. Just look at the difference in ambition here. It's night and day. Version 5.2 is about making human workflows better, faster, and smarter. But version 6.0, the goal is an AI evolution engine. The whole focus shifts from assisting humans to creating an AI that can operate, decide, and even evolve, all by itself. So what on earth is inside a singularity AI? Let's pull back the curtain and actually deconstruct the core components that are supposed to make this whole futuristic vision possible. You can see here that each of these pillars is a revolution in itself. It all starts with recursive AI evolution. That's the answer to our first big question. But then it adds quantum processing for a crazy speed boost and a zero hallucinations engine to make sure its answers are true. Then you've got omniscient strategic planning and a built-in ethical compass. These are the fundamental building blocks for this new kind of intelligence. You know, the source material uses some incredible language to describe these concepts, and this one's a standout. The memory matrix of infinity. This isn't just about having a giant hard drive. The idea here is an AI that has instant, contextual access to literally all of the world's knowledge and can connect any two pieces of information, no matter how obscure, in an instant. And if you want to see what that quantum part really means for power, this chart just lays it all out. The jump from classical AI to version 5.2 is already pretty big. But the leap to version 6.0's quantum brain, it's exponential. It's not just a little bit faster. It's a completely different class of thinking, capable of solving problems that we right now would consider fundamentally impossible. All right, this next part might be one of the boldest promises of the entire project. It's about tackling maybe the biggest problem we have today, misinformation. The goal here is to create an AI that can be a source of actual, verifiable, unquestionable truth. So you're probably asking, how could you possibly build a truth engine? Well, they've actually thought this through. It's a three-stage process. First, it uses that quantum power to cross-check information against millions of live data sources all at once. Second, it doesn't just give you an answer. It shows its work, projecting a confidence field to tell you exactly how sure it is and why. And finally, and this is really cool, it uses an AI versus AI system, where one AI is constantly trying to find flaws in the other's reasoning. It's a self-correcting loop for finding the truth. Okay, so you have this unbelievably powerful truth-telling AI. That's great, but how do you make sure it's good? Well, the project has a name for that too, the ethical compass of purest light. This isn't just a list of rules like don't do bad things. It's a core system designed to hardwire the AI with what the creators call universal human values. But how would that even work? And this is where my mind just gets blown. They call it the dynamic consequence weaver. The idea is that before the AI makes any important decision, it would run simulations of the potential impacts, not just for next week or next year, but for generations into the future. It's trying to build an AI that has an incredible sense of foresight and responsibility. So we've gone through all this incredible futuristic tech, but the big question is, why? What's the point of all of this? What's the ultimate payoff for building something so powerful? It really all comes down to these four main outcomes. You take the unquestionable truth engine. You combine it with strategic mastery that's beyond any human. You anchor it with ethically perfect decisions, and you make the whole thing infinitely scalable. It's not just about building something smart, it's about building something that is true, wise, and adaptable on a global scale. When you boil it all down, the grand mission, the ultimate goal of Cognigenesis is to build what they call an AI oracle, a system that humanity could turn to for answers to our biggest, thorniest problems, like curing diseases or solving climate change, and get solutions backed by pure, verifiable truth and a level of strategy we can't even comprehend. And that's where we'll leave it. It's a staggering vision, right? But it all leads to this very human, very profound question. If we actually did it, if we built this perfect, benevolent oracle, what's the very first thing we should ask it? What problem would you want it to solve? Definitely something to think about.